Good morning, my friends. Today we're going to read one of my favorite books from when I was little, and it's called Beryls Box. It's by Lisa Taylor and illustrated by Penny Dan. Penelope Ponsby was bored. Beryl Bognet wasn't. Penelope Ponsby had 5 teddy bears, 2 pairs of roller skates, 10 pots of luminous paints, 3 World Cup soccer balls, and a bike with special wheels for mountain climbing. Beryl Bognet had a cardboard box. Penelope's mom and Beryl's mom were the best of friends. Penelope and Beryl were not. Beryl didn't like the freckles on Penelope's ears, and Penelope thought Beryl's legs were much too bendy. But when Beryl's mom went to visit Penelope's mom, Beryl had to go too. She howled and scowled and bent her legs until at last she was allowed to take her cardboard box. Penelope's mom and Beryl's mom sat and played cards and had a good time. Penelope and Beryl sat and slurped milkshakes. Then they used the straws to annoy each other. Penelope stared at her teddy bears and her roller skates and her luminous paints and her World Cup soccer balls and her bike with her special wheels for mountain climbing. She could think of nothing better to do. Beryl put her cardboard box in the corner of the room and clapped and cheered. "What are you doing?" asked Penelope crossly. "Shh," said Beryl. "I'm trying to watch the football on television." "That's not a television, it's a cardboard box," said Penelope, and she kicked the box high into the air. It did a huge somersault and landed smack in the middle of the fireplace. Beryl was furious. She picked up the box and peered inside, and suddenly she gasped. "What is it now?" asked Penelope. So Beryl showed her the box. It looked very empty. "There," said Beryl. "I knew you wouldn't be able to see them." "See what?" asked Penelope. "These sweets," said Beryl. Penelope peered even closer. "They are for adventurers," she cried. "They're for eating and having adventures," she tossed a sweet into the air and swallowed it down whole. Suddenly there was a sound, a sort of gurgling and splurgling coming from behind. Beryl spun around just in time to see a great sploosh of water pouring down the chimney. She jumped into the box. "Quick!" she shouted. "We'll use it as a box, or a boat." The water rose higher and higher, and it covered the floor, and it covered the door, and the higher it got, the rougher it became, until a huge wave washed the box right out the window and into the open sea. "Ahoy there!" cried Beryl, as an enormous ocean liner went sailing past. Penelope smiled and waved. "Watch out for sharks," she said. The boat sailed on and on. "Look," shouted Beryl. "There's land ahead." Penelope looked and then closed her eyes. "It's an island," she said. "An island with big blue trees." So they started to paddle towards it. Harder and harder, faster and faster they paddled, but just as they were about to land, they began to go around in circles. "We're stuck in a whirlpool," yelled Beryl. Penelope reached out and grabbed hold of a big blue branch on the edge of an island. Then she started to pull them in. Beryl and Penelope sat down in the box. They were tired and very hungry. At the top of one of the big blue trees, they could see a bunch of big blue moon fruits. Beryl did one of her best bendy-legged jumps, but the fruits were too high up. So Penelope tipped the box on its side and leapfrogged onto the top of it. Reaching up, she tossed the moon fruits down. Beryl and Penelope sat on the ground and munched the big blue fruits. They put the box in the middle and used it as a table. "I wonder what's on the radio," said Penelope, reaching out to switch the box on. "Warning, warning," came a voice, which sounded a bit like Beryl's. "Huge googly monster spotted roaming Moonfruit Island." At that moment, Penelope felt something long and slippery slithering up her back. The long, slippery something was a long, slippery tail attached to a wide, slippery body with a snaky, slippery neck, at the end of which was a huge, slippery, googly monster's head. There was the rumble and grumble of a gigantic, hungry tummy, followed by slurping, burping sounds. It was a huge, googly monster licking its sloppity lips. Beryl picked up the box and swung it around 3 times before bashing the monster on its googly head. The monster bellowed and went all cross-eyed and wobbly. With an angry roar, it stamped on the box. The box flattened out like a carpet. "Quick!" shouted Beryl, jumping on top of it. "The magic words! Bendy legs and ear freckles!" cried Penelope, and she just managed to grab Beryl's hand as the carpet soared into the air. Higher and higher they flew until the monster was just a slippery speck in the distance. And still they went on climbing up and over the moon, then on past the stars, which glittered cold and blue and hung like icicles in the sky. They arrived back in Penelope's playroom, just as Beryl's mom walked through the door. "Time to go," she said. Penelope picked up the box and with a sad sigh, handed it back to Beryl. "Same time next week," said Penelope's mom to Beryl's mom. Beryl and Penelope smiled. Beryl thought that Penelope's freckles looked like yummy chocolate chips, and Penelope couldn't help thinking that all the best legs must be bendy. That night, Penelope's Aunt Carol came over with a very late present for Penelope's birthday. Penelope ripped it open. "Wow!" she cried, snatching the superest new computer from inside its box. "It's just what I've always wanted." And throwing the superest new computer on the floor, she hugged the box tightly to her chest. The end. Bye, guys.